The locked bedroom. I was 19 years old when this happened. My parents had gone out of town for the weekend, leaving me alone in our house. At first, it felt great. I ordered food, played video games, and stayed up later than usual.
Around midnight, I locked every door and checked every window. Everything was secure, or so I thought. At exactly 2:17 a.m., I woke up suddenly. The house was dark, completely silent. Then I heard it. A footstep, slow, heavy, coming from upstairs. I sat up in bed and listened. Another footstep, then another. Someone was walking above me. My first thought was that a burglar had somehow entered the house. I grabbed my phone and quietly left my room. The footsteps continued, back and forth, almost like someone was searching for something. My heart was pounding. I remembered something important. The upstairs hallway door had been locked before my parents left. Only one key existed, and it was hanging in the kitchen. I looked toward the wall. The key was still there, exactly where it should have been. Yet the footsteps continued. Suddenly, a loud bang echoed from upstairs. Something had fallen or been thrown. Every hair on my arm stood up. I grabbed a baseball bat and walked toward the staircase. The house felt colder than before, much colder. When I reached the stairs, I noticed something strange. The bathroom light upstairs was on. I knew I hadn't left it on. The door at the end of the hallway belonged to my sister. She had moved away 2 years earlier. Nobody used that room anymore. Then I heard whispering coming from behind her door. I couldn't understand the words, but there was definitely a voice. And then the doorknob started turning. I froze. The doorknob continued turning slowly. At first, I thought someone was inside the room. Maybe a burglar had hidden there. Maybe someone had broken in before my parents left. I tried convincing myself there had to be a logical explanation. Then the whispering stopped. The house became completely silent. The doorknob stopped moving. For several seconds, nothing happened. I stood there holding the baseball bat so tightly that my hands hurt. Then the bedroom door slowly creaked open, only a few inches. Darkness filled the room beyond. I raised my phone flashlight and pointed it toward the opening. Nothing. No movement. No person. No sound. Just darkness. I pushed the door open wider.
The room looked exactly as it always had. An old bed, a dresser, a desk, boxes stacked against the wall. Nobody was there. I searched every corner, even under the bed. Nothing. The room was empty. I let out a nervous laugh. Maybe I was imagining things. Maybe the old house was settling. Maybe I had just scared myself. Then I noticed something strange. The closet door was open.
I was almost certain it had been closed before. The inside of the closet was completely dark. For some reason, I didn't want to look inside. Every instinct told me to leave. Instead, I stepped closer. The flashlight beam slowly moved toward the closet. At first, everything looked normal. Old clothes, storage boxes, dust. Then I noticed a small object on the floor, a photograph. I picked it up.
The picture was old and faded. It showed my sister standing in this very room when she was around 10 years old. At first, nothing seemed unusual. Then I looked closer. Standing behind her, inside the closet, was a tall shadow, a figure so dark it almost blended into the background. My stomach dropped. I turned toward the closet. It was empty, completely empty. I looked back at the photograph. The figure was still there, watching, standing directly where I was looking. A cold feeling spread through my body. Then I heard a sound, a soft knock, 3 taps, coming from somewhere inside the wall. Knock, knock, knock. I backed away immediately. The knocking came again, this time louder. Knock, knock, knock.
The sound wasn't coming from the closet. It was coming from behind the wall itself, as if someone was trapped inside, trying to get out. I ran from the room, the photograph still in my hand. I slammed the bedroom door behind me and hurried downstairs. My heart was racing. I didn't care anymore whether it was my imagination.
Something was wrong with that room. Very wrong. I reached the kitchen and turned on every light in the house. The bright lights helped for a while. Then I looked down at the photograph again and noticed something I had missed before. The shadow in the closet wasn't looking at the camera. It was looking directly at me.
I couldn't stop staring at the photograph. The more I looked at it, the more wrong it felt. The shadow wasn't blurred. It wasn't a trick of the light. It looked like a real person standing inside the closet, watching, waiting. I decided to call my sister. It was nearly 3 in the morning, but I didn't care. After several rings, she answered, half asleep. I explained everything, the footsteps, the whispering, the photograph. For a few seconds, she didn't say anything. Then her voice changed. "Where did you find that picture?" I told her, "Inside the closet." Silence. Then she said something that made my blood run cold. "I threw that photo away years ago." I laughed nervously. "What?" "I threw it away when I was 16. I felt my stomach tighten. "Why?" Another silence. Then she whispered, "Because I kept seeing someone standing in my closet." I stopped breathing. She continued, "When I was younger, I thought it was a nightmare. Every night I would wake up and see a tall figure standing inside the closet.
I told Mom and Dad, but they thought I was imagining it. My hands were shaking now. Then, one day, I found that photograph, the same one you're holding. I looked down at the picture. The shadow seemed darker than before. My sister continued speaking. After that, I never slept in that room again. Suddenly, the kitchen lights flickered. Once, twice, then they went out. The house plunged into darkness. I immediately turned on my phone flashlight. My heart was pounding so hard it hurt. The phone call disconnected. No signal, no internet, nothing. Then I heard footsteps again, upstairs, slow, heavy, walking across the hallway. But this time, they weren't alone. Another set of footsteps joined them, then another, and another. It sounded like multiple people moving through the second floor. Dozens of footsteps, walking, dragging, scratching. The sounds echoed throughout the house. I backed into the kitchen corner. The flashlight shook in my hand. Then everything stopped. Complete silence. For several seconds, nothing happened. Then I heard one final sound. A bedroom door opening upstairs. Very slowly. Creak. And then a voice. Soft. Close. Far too close. Come upstairs. The voice sounded like my sister, exactly like her. But my sister was over 100 miles away. I knew that. Yet for a moment, I almost listened. I almost walked toward the stairs. Something deep inside me screamed not to move, not to answer, not to go upstairs. Then the voice came again, this time from the staircase itself. Come upstairs. I pointed my flashlight toward the stairs and saw a dark figure standing at the top, watching me. The figure stood completely still at the top of the stairs. It was too dark to see its face, too dark to see any details at all. Yet I knew it was looking directly at me. The flashlight trembled in my hand. For several seconds, neither of us moved. Then the figure took one step forward. Creak. The sound echoed through the house. Another step. Creak. Another. Slowly descending the stairs. My body refused to move. Fear had frozen me in place. The figure continued downward, one step at a time. Closer, closer, closer. Then my phone suddenly lit up. An incoming call. Mom. The bright screen distracted me for a split second. When I looked back toward the stairs, the figure was gone, completely gone. The staircase was empty. I answered immediately. My mother sounded confused. Why are you calling your sister at 3 a.m? I tried explaining everything. The footsteps, the photograph, the whispers, the figure. My mother became silent. Then she said something strange. There was always something odd about that room. I felt my heart sink. What do you mean? She hesitated. Then she told me something I had never heard before. When the house was being renovated in the early 1980s, workers discovered a sealed crawl space hidden behind the wall of my sister's closet. Inside, they found old belongings, clothes, photographs, toys, items belonging to a family who had lived there decades earlier. Among the belongings was a journal. According to the journal, a teenage boy had vanished from the house sometime in the 1950s. Nobody ever found him. The investigation went nowhere. Eventually, people forgot. But strange reports continued. Whispers, footsteps, knocking from inside the walls.
The workers sealed the crawl space again and finished the renovation. My mother admitted she never believed the stories until my sister started waking up screaming at night. Then she quietly added something else. The boy's bedroom became your sister's room. I looked toward the staircase. The darkness seemed deeper than before. The phone call ended. The lights suddenly came back on, every room illuminated at once. The house looked normal again. No footsteps, no whispers, no shadow, just silence. The next morning, my parents returned home. Together, we opened the closet. We moved every box, every shelf, everything. Finally, behind a loose wooden panel, we found something, a narrow, hidden opening inside the wall, and inside it, a small metal box covered in dust. The box contained old photographs, letters, and a newspaper clipping from 1957.
The headline read, "Local boy disappears without a trace." The photograph beneath the article showed a teenage boy, a boy with dark eyes and dark hair, the same face I had seen standing at the top of the stairs. I never entered that room again. A few months later, my parents sold the house. The new owners moved in shortly afterward. Everything seemed fine until one night I received a message from an unknown number. Only a single photograph. It showed the upstairs bedroom. The closet door was open, and standing inside was the shadow, still waiting.